Let's see if this works. My name is Anon F Hedge Funds, and we're doing a Friday night one because everyone in the Discord wanted to jump on. So let's see. I need to link this to the Discord. Oh, yeah, we got people coming in now. Here we go. I'm going to link this in the Discord real quick. Then we can go from there. I'm tired. My kid woke me up like 4 or 5 in the morning, and here we go. Yeah, we got it first. What's up, Von Ven? Or Vorn Ven? Okay, get the paste. Here we go. So we're looking to see if the bots come in, because this is impromptu. So, like, you know, last time we had it planned, it was like announced that we were gonna, you know, do a nightly DD, and there was bots waiting for us. So we're gonna see if they just pop up out of nowhere just because we went live. I am a bot. I've seen you, Sacred Goat. Or Scared Goat, sorry. Hello, hello. Did the bot show up? Not yet. I was gonna say maybe they're off on Fridays. And they're like, you know, they've got union hours and off on Fridays. You never know. Alright, let's see. We got 11 people in here. No bots so far. I'm a really intelligent person. I can drink scotch. I mean, I've been drinking beer so far, but I could have another scotch. Because I don't feel like going upstairs, so. Hold on. I got my bull statue from I Ate the Acid. Let's see. Hey, Anon, 0 states posted GME FTDs, which apparently is a worry. I'm not sure what to look at. Alright, let's see. You got a link? You got a beer there, Scared Goot? What kind of beer? And do you have shooting some vodka shots too? There you go. I'm just gonna grab a scotch. Hold on a second. Alright, let's see. The FTDs were high again this March, again without any apparent consequences. Okay, I see what you're going through. Just call you Goat. Alright. Alright, somebody just tagged me. Here we go. Okay, so new FTD data is out. Let's see. Alright. Almost dropped my scotch glass. Hold on. Let's see what we got. Okay, so those were pretty low. I mean, were people expecting it to be high? Yeah, you heard the glass clinking. All right, hold on a second. Yeah, so reminding, what were you expecting? I'm just curious. Like, yeah, I mean, they're super low, at least, you know, with the reporting. I mean, I would imagine they're low because probably most of the apes have DRS their shares, so, like, they're just borrowing what they can. And I think the thing with GameStop and AMC, I'm pretty sure all that stuff's mixed up with the ETFs, which they can do like share creation, if I remember correctly. And I think they're just basically hiding everything in those. Like they're basically depackaging these ETFs, and that's one reason I'm actually glad Aterian doesn't have a ton of like mutual funds and ETFs holding, because it seems to me like that's like a loophole right now that they can kind of like unpackage and take out stocks when they need them and do all sorts of things because they can create basically shares from the ETF as long as they eventually have the capital to like pay them back. So it's like a weird like loophole, if I remember correctly. I read something about that. Hold on, I gotta bring you. You guys are talking inside the Discord and you're talking in the YouTube. So hold on, let me pull this out. Let's see if I can bring it over. Okay, here we go. I keep wondering why the Fintel rate isn't increasing. It went down. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, these guys, when they're doing, like, their lending rates, it all depends on, number one, sometimes they help each other out. Like, for example, GameStop was locked at, like, 0.09 or 0.08, whatever it was, for, like, a year. So, like, sometimes they're like, okay, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back kind of thing. Like, we'll give you better rates on other things, but we're in a bad position on this, so don't, like, raise the rates on us. You can raise the rates on, like, other things, but, like, we're in trouble on this one, so don't do that. So, yeah, we're waiting for the green eye bots. Yeah. He said that FTDs were high in March. Who said that? You're talking about Zero Hedge or whatever? Oh my. Look at the FTDs in late March. Okay, I'll bring it back over, but I didn't see, were we just not going down far enough? Like, this is not a lot of shares. Like, I don't see what they're talking about. I mean, I'm looking at the prices. They ran up to one, yeah, I mean, but like, the FTDs weren't that much. I'm not quite sure what they're claiming. Look at the FTDs in late March when it was a clear that a shitload of options would have busted. Let's see. I mean, I don't have the options chains from late March for GME, so I don't know what to tell you, but the FTDs don't look like they're that bad. I mean, like, that's not that much. The float on GME is, what is it? What's the float on GME now? $62 million, something like that. Yeah, I mean, only like 100,000. Like, that's not that much. So I don't know what that's supposed to be there, but yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. There's so many, and I think it's all because of ETFs. Oh, we got bots. We got bots, guys. Wow. Mildred Gasparolopoulos. Mildred, are you related to the last Gastrolopoulos? What was her name? Do we have screenshots of it? Hold on. Hey bots, we got you. Hold on. Where's the Quintalopoulos? Oh, this one's Gastrolopoulos. Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna bring this over so the shills and all you guys can see. So here's Mildred Gastrolopoulos, and then we also had a Jennifer Quintalopoulos. So here, let's compare the two. So here is Jennifer Quintalopoulos, and here's Mildred Gastrolopoulos. You guys are getting real creative with these name shills. Wow, we're getting them at, what time is it now? Like 10:15 at night? So they just come on anytime I come on now, huh? Yes. Mildred, do you guys agree with me? So the bots, no, and so if we mention the bots' glowing eyes, then they'll turn them off. Yes, look at us. Look at us going. We get bots every time we come on now. This is cool. Mildred's back. 8 to 7. Let's go. Rockets. She's trying to fit in now, so we don't call her out for being a bot, but we know. We know who you are, Mildred. It's okay. Your bosses pay you to do this, so we forgive you. Okay, let's see. as Ortex borrowed shares around 17 million, which is the 72% of the float, and the shorted is 10 million. Why is there a difference? So people actually can borrow shares, but not actually short them, and that's something that retail should know, because sometimes they borrow the shares to go quote unquote long, but what they really do is they hold on to them for a little bit and then they shuffle them off as fast as they can when they do bid whacking. It's a way of waterfalling. So you borrow shares that are marked long that you hold. They're just on, so you guys want to know where they keep getting these shares. You don't have to short you can borrow shares and just hold them, and then you don't have to short them. You can just wait, and then you can shuffle them off inside of waterfalls. Basically, you can create these waterfalls essentially, like that we had in these days. If I went to the lower time frames, like for example, these ones right here. They may have borrowed shares long and waited, and then shuffled them off as fast as they could to try to create a panic selling, while shorting and also buying in the money puts. So they're doing all this stuff to just push down the price because they really wanted to break it underneath. I think we told you guys the other day 5. So that's why you can actually borrow shares sometimes and not actually short them. So that's why I want PIP. Yo yo yo, shorts have feelings too. Yeah, feeling these. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it on there. Okay, what's happening Tuesday? Since all those calls expired in the money on Friday, the market makers have till Tuesday to buy shares or hedge. Otherwise, they're given 21 calendar days. Yeah. So this is happening with GameStop, and every Tuesday has a huge jump because market makers have to deliver shares that were in the money. Yes. That's how it works, Devin. And sometimes it might be a day. It just really depends. They may kick it down the road just because if they know we're catching on to a pattern, what they'll do is they'll eat the FTDs and then they'll cover it later on. But for the most part, that's how it works. They're due within T+2. So if we closed on a Friday, then usually they're due by Tuesday or Wednesday. So that's why I keep telling people I think it's going to go, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. I was confused. He's saying it's high. Yeah, it's not high. Reminding. Hey, Anna, thanks for what you do. If I buy ATER stock from a broker, it just gets rerouted to a dark pool. Wouldn't that add volume to be used against the short? So it doesn't cause immediate pressure. So what happens is it ends up being more like a FTD down the road. So they'll put it as a wash sale basically. It will just get pushed to a dark pool or over the counter sale. And then what ends up happening after that is, the broker still owes you those shares. So that's why sometimes there's a huge difference between, for example, if we have a huge volume day. Let me get back on the daily. So if you look at this day, wait, where is it? That's the second run up. Here we go. You'll notice every 3 or 4 days you'll get a large kind of spike. We had this day. This day was probably them actually having to buy. This was a decent volume day, but then they kicked some of the. Where's the first OPEX? Let's see. So this was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and this was the Friday. So the volume eventually had to catch up, and that was a Friday. And then we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So my guess would be, because we had some decent buying in these days right here, that in retail it seemed like it's been kind of more FOMOing the last couple days. What should happen is next week, my guess would be we're going to have some decent volume candles again. Maybe not this high, because this was the initial one. This was a follow-up one, and then this was covering from this one. So but when OPEX happens, usually those Mondays, things become due. So, and I know for a fact, I bought a bunch of on this Friday OPEX, I bought a bunch of $2 and $2.50 puts that I sold because I thought the share price was going to go up, and I was writing DD that weekend that I thought was pretty good, and it was just I didn't think it was actually going to be anything because of me, but I just knew that like I had a good feeling about this upcoming week. I knew April was going to be, a time where I knew what the options chains in May look like, and I was like, I'm pretty sure there's going to be like April stuff going on. So that's why I sold those puts. And selling puts is bullish. I think I've told you guys that before. It's basically you get paid a premium when you do it, and then if it goes up, then you keep the premium, and they don't want you to have those shares anyway. But if it goes down, then you have to buy them at the strike price that you agreed to. So, Cynthia, Cynthia was here last night, right? Was she one of the ones from last night? Let me see. Cynthia, were you here last night? Yeah, she was here last night. I think we have a picture of Cynthia's. Yep, here we go. Here you guys go. You want to see Cynthia? I am an 8. My tweets or comments are not financial advice. And they're actually following us around, by the way. So this is even more fun. So like, they started following us. So whenever we tweet things, they can tweet things behind us about how it's not going to go. All right. What's the over-under again? Yeah, I'm actually surprised they showed up on a Friday night. Unless it's AI and we're just not catching on. But like, all right, good. We'll keep it clean. We're not gonna go into. All right, let's look at this. Bots are doing reverse psychology. They're encouraging us, but telling us to buy to 7. That's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, the fact that there are bots in here is fun. Rosa Washington. Do you guys really think it can go as high as 7? That would be insane gains. Hey, guess what, Rosa? You're on our list too. I am a graduated from college. I am very intelligent. I am also an ape. My tweets and comments are not financial advice. You guys are famous. Our bots are now telling us to go to 7, and that's it. So that's. I'm gonna start selling $7 puts then. I'm a very intelligent guy. I go to college. ATER to 100. You should ban these bots. Yeah, but it's so fun. ATER to 7. Let's go, guys. I will be selling all my ATER at 7. Rose is going to sell all her ATER stock that she doesn't have because she's not really in on it because she's a bot at 7. Okay. ATER to 50. Let's go, guys. I will be selling all my ATER at 50. Half. Can you be more realistic and not mislead people saying ATER to 50? I didn't say that. I'm reading comments from my YouTube. The bots aren't even saying it's going to go down. They're saying to sell at a 7. Yeah. $7 would be astronomical and very fair to me. Wait, is this when they start telling us that Jesus wants us to sell at 7? Bots, are you going to tell me that? All these bots are going to sell at 7, guys. They're saying 70 because they are bots, except for Dan's also a bot. The rest of us know it could never go that high. Mods, can you ban them if they say 50 to 70? Dan's also a bot. The Dan bot, yep. Look at all these bots. Kellen bot. 70 is conservative. I'm holding to 100. No mods night. I guess we don't have mods night. Do we have mods? I mean, we did an impromptu thing, so it was kind of like weird. So, is everyone getting these screenshots? Can we reverse psychology these bots? Hey, they're working overtime. They got a lot to lose. Get the bots to sell us their calls. Jesus already sold. Jesus saves. Ban them already. Okay, Overmind's getting the screenshots. Good stuff. We're gonna add it to our best of Aterian bots. So they're actually now telling us that we should sell at 7. So they acknowledge it's going to go to 7 at least. So that's pretty good. All right. So let me do this. Let me grab my drink. Drink some scotch here. All right, bots. What do you guys want to talk about? I'm pretty sure the bots do outnumber us. I don't think we have that many people in here. We got 48 for a Friday night when we were actually just curious to see if the bots would show up. So this is pretty good. Didn't the CEO say there would be a press release 2 weeks prior to financials coming out? No. Well, that's it, boys. We're going to 7. Pack it up. The work's done for tonight. Yep. You know, it is. The bots stopped talking to us. What happened? Did you guys scare the bots off? Come on, bots. We did this just for you. We weren't sure if you were going to show up. Like, we were very excited. We were like, all right, I've had some drinks. And, you know, last time I did this, you guys, you bots showed up. So, like, will you show up again on an impromptu 10 o'clock on a Friday night? And look, you guys came. To be honest, I was about to do some gaming until someone mentioned you're doing a stream, and then I thought about GameStop and FTDs. Now I'm out of stuff talked about. Okay, you can go game if you want. It's all good. Oh, he banned them already. That's what happened. Oh, okay. So they can't talk to us anymore. Oh. AMC people remember 3/28, the Monday after so many calls expired in the money. You want to go back to it? Look up that ticker if you want. I mean, let's go take a look at some squeeze stuff in the past. All right, so you said 3. What was it? 3/28. I am not seeing what you're saying, because here's 3/28. And in fact, there was no 3/28 that the market was open, so. Can you talk about why the CEO can't talk about the stock? Okay. Just so you guys know. And this is something I think retail should understand and know. And if anyone's in here listening, this is something important to remember. So retail, for some reason, thinks that there are like no rules, or like these CEOs and executives can buy stock and sell stock. They're like, why this price is so low? Why aren't they buying right now? So what ends up happening is the SEC, they've only got a certain amount of times that they're allowed to buy. And if, for example, they actually have, for example, sorry, I'm seeing all these chats coming across, and it's a little distracting. Let me pull it out to the side so it's not in my eye line. So the CEOs and anyone that's an executive that has information that could be, very valuable, they're not allowed to buy if there's like a major event coming up. They can only do it in periods when they don't have things going on. So like you can only buy and sell at certain times of the year as like a executive. So it may not be the right time. Like you may want to buy at the low point, but like you have important news that's coming out, and so like you can't buy then. And so that's just something to keep in mind. And you should not read too much into insider buying and selling. The reason why I say this is because, for example, I went and I was trying to, like, when Moderna had just came, and, I'll tell you this fun story. So I sat there and I was overthinking things, and when Moderna was, talking about, like, hey, we're working on some mRNA stuff, and, we think it might be, used someday. And I was like, okay, so I'll buy some of the stock. So the stock went up a lot during COVID. And then Moderna, I saw the CEO sell a lot of shares. Like a lot of shares. And I was like, ooh, that's not good. Like they must have been like denied FDA approval. Like there was all sorts of things going in my head. And I'm like, the CEO's unloading some shares. I better get out of here. And I kid you not, 1 week later, that they announced that they got the mRNA vaccine approved, and they were going to be going through trials, and the stock shot through the roof. And I sold when I saw the CEO sell, and I'm like, I mean, the stock went up $200 a share after that, and I missed out on that entire thing because I was overthinking it. So yeah, don't always go off insider sales and stuff like that. It's not always gonna help you. So just want to let you guys know that That's my story about how I got burned by Moderna following the CEO out, and then it ripped $200 a share after that, and I missed out on all of it. Let's see, just a few days ago. Yeah, so the CEO, though, of the company can't talk about it during periods right before earnings, because they can't give out information that might like sway, earnings, and it's it's just one of those cold. They call them like cool off periods or cold periods or something like that. When do you anticipate ATER at 7? I mean, it could be next week. See at 10. Okay. So yeah, the CEO tweeted about naked shorts and then hasn't tweeted since then. My guess would be the SEC probably put a gag order on. It was like, okay, we're looking into this, but you can't say anything. To the person that was talking about AMC, I just want to go back and talk about it. You had said it reminds you of AMC 328, but like, I don't see where you guys are. I'm trying to find that comment. Any AMC people 328 Monday. Are you talking? Oh, you're talking about this year. Sorry, 328. Yeah, right here. Okay. So here's 328, which was, I guess, the Monday after these calls expired. So all these calls here expired in the money, and then you had a nice run up. What was that? To 30, maybe 29, something like that. 28, 29, something like that. Try to see that level. Then you went up the next day and then shorted back down. Yeah, I was looking at the original. I was like, I don't remember it running in March, but yeah, they definitely did. Let's see. I bet you said F. Yeah. Why would the CEO sell then? Was the CEO not smart about it? So that's the thing. Like, they can only buy and sell at certain periods, and the stock was already up, I guess, slightly for him. So he was like, maybe he needed to buy a boat. Who knows? Like, these rich people, they have a lot of money anyway. So this dude sells his Moderna stock right before they announce, and like, I was like, seriously? Like, why would you sell there? But maybe he was using it to offset later sales. I don't know, but that was pretty silly. I mean, I am willing to talk. I may get caught, and I don't care. I have also worked this call center to spread GME FUD in the past before the run-ups. I don't know why I'm doing it wrong. They don't sell they. I know what I'm doing is wrong. They're panicked, and I don't know. I have a family to feed. Yeah, hey, quote unquote Laura. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, you're good. You do what you're supposed to do. You tell us to sell at 7. Okay, you're doing your job. No one else is gonna get on you. We're just giving you some we're giving you some slack, but. Laura, you sound like a mentally unstable person. This is from another bot. You should get help soon. Laura's gone rogue. Rogue bot Laura. Laura's on our side. Hey Laura, if you tell us a little bit more about who you work for, we'll buy some calls for you and send it to your family. How's that for you? Laura's on tilt. I like it. Making you work on a Friday, right, Laura? Like, that's not fair. Laura, we'll buy you. We'll buy Laura's source. Trust me, bro. Laura, you tell us what call center you're working at, or computer center, and we'll buy you some calls on ATER and have you go up. Laura sounds delusional to me. Proof through Laura. Loose lip Laura slipping through the cracks. You're gonna have a real upset boss there, but that's okay, Laura. You're on our side. Just buy some ATER on Monday morning and make sure you hold through at least Wednesday or Thursday, right? Yeah, they do the stuff on GameStop. They do it on, and these guys get paid for it, and it's fine. Like, that's their job, and I'm not giving them crap about it. It's just fun. Like, you know, we've all been through this. Like, they're listening to me talk, and then they go and type their things, and then, you know, they're supposed to tell everyone to sell at 7, get out at 7, don't get greedy, you got to do this, guys. And it's because they're in trouble, because they get hired out by, like, somebody said you can just pay these guys like 10K and they'll get like thousands of bots out there to like talk about these on any channel that's possible. So Jim's fighting his own kind. So Jim, be nice to Laura. I mean, you guys came out to show me. Like, at least you can be nice to each other. They take Laura offline. She gave in because you have a sexy voice. We didn't ban Laura, right? Laura was on our side. I think we should have kept her. Did we ban her? Mods? Rayfish. Alright, so then we got the scotch. Let's see. She got unplugged. Yeah, they took her down. They were like, nope, she's not allowed to talk anymore. I mean, they got these guys working on a Friday night. Like, I've had some drinks. Like, I'm in a good mood. I don't really, like, you know, not sure why. Yeah, we could have, Laura, yeah, tell us how yeah, you got to feed your family. We can help you guys out. We're making lots of money on the stock, so, I mean, Laura, tell us what you know, and then we'll just go from there, and then we'll help you guys out. We'll help your family. Where are you guys at? India? Like, the Philippines? I didn't ban her. Well, I like it when the bots spill the beans. Yeah, I mean, Philippines, India, could be a bunch of different places, but, like, you put these guys all in, like, call center and stuff like that. I guess Laura's not going to talk to us anymore. They must have, like, gotten to Laura, and they're like, you know what? You're not allowed to do this. Go to other channels. I don't know. I don't know if we're specifically being targeted. Is anyone else talking about ATER on the Friday night like us? Like, I don't know if we can look that up, but I would be curious also. All right. Hold on, let me get a refill on my scotch. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Bots, do me a favor. Fill up the chat so I have something to talk about when I get back. And they're coming on Zip Trader too? Okay. Cool. So I'm not the only one. So I shouldn't feel that special. That's good. Lore breaking character tells me the Saudi apparently they're more professional. They don't break down character. All right, here's my scotch. A few days ago, midday, I saw a guy live streaming about ATER. Was it me? No, I get it. They made the bots to look like it's our side, and then they have it attack it, and then it looked like the bots are our side. No, I mean, that would be smart, right? Laura, see, guys, Laura tricked us. So, like, now, if we trust Laura, she's in with us, right? So she's our Trojan horse. Yeah, DC Money Man. We haven't talked about it. Probably should also find out how to actually work OBS so I can, like, have him share his screen and stuff like that. Yeah, I know Aloha. I miss Laura too. It's sad that she was nice. She told us what this was all about. She was honest with us, at least. I'm hoping we got screenshots of that, right? Did everyone get screenshots of what Laura was saying? Anyone? Cheers. Cheers to you guys. How's everyone doing tonight? We got some screenshots. Good stuff. All right. Make sure you post them in the best of Aterian bots, because I want to keep a record of, like our highlights as we go through this process. Maybe they can all hang out with us at the end, No drink. Wait, no drink and hard seltzer. I joke. Hey, hard seltzers are good too. What flavor? What brand also? Because there's a lot of them now. I'm still waiting to hear back from Perry Pebbles. Oh, Perry Pebbles. Didn't Toe get, kicked by a mod because he was impersonating Perry Pebbles? They're Vizzies. Delicious. Alright, let's see. They got vitamin C and antioxidants. Vizzy. Okay. I think I know that one. Let's see what we got over here. Yeah, the green eyes are back, guys, in the Discord. Rest in peace, Perry Pebbles. What, do they get banned? Do you get banned each time on YouTube, or do they have to create new names? Is that what it is, or what brand is Scotch? This one's called Shalig, and what I do is it's like a cheaper brand, but what I do is I actually put it into my own barrel, and then I age it. And it's a smaller barrel. It fits like a handle, basically. And then, but it gives really good flavor. Because it basically, the reason why it takes so long for these things to absorb, the wood, the paneling inside of the barrels, is because of the surface area. Well, when you have a really small one, more of the liquid is touching the surface. So that's why in the older ones it takes a long time to do it, but in a smaller one it goes really fast. So, is it a single bot changing names, or is it a multiple? Perry Pebbles is now my name down with the green eyes. The mods unbanned me. Yeah, you were messing around, I know. But you got to watch out, because they're not sure who's real, what's not. So they got to watch out for what's best in the community. But yeah, I was gonna say, anything mislaced goes. The smoky taste. Yep. Let me see what this one says, because I don't remember. I usually get this one, and it is Lock of the Herring. Shalig. Shaligag. And something about the inhabited the Shaligag Lock of the Herring. Saying if they have I guess it's near Tordon Hills. I don't know Scotland that well, so it's not like I study that stuff. Oh wait, you need the rest of the message though. Hold on. Sorry, I'm just reading in the Discord. They posted Laura's comment in there, so that was pretty fun. But I guess we must have banned all the bots, so I don't see them anymore, and they're not coming back at this point. I guess they got they're like, oh, we got banned. Sorry, we did what we could. Yeah, people like IPAs. Yeah. So, have you ever looked at Rivian? I feel like sketchy things are happening there. Yeah, I can. Let's take a look real quick. Alright, so started out in November 2021 at about 130 a share. And since then has gone down to 40. I guess it hit a low of 38, or yeah, about 38. It looks like it may have double bottomed there. I'm just looking at a crappy Yahoo chart, but like it looks like it's hit 38, 38. So I mean, it may have done a double bottom, and now it's gonna head by. Like if I bet here, now you guys gonna make me actually do some DD on a Friday night. All right, let's figure it out. Let's review this ticker. Let's see. Let's take a look. All right. So we got one here. Looks like that hit there. Didn't quite get down to that other bottom though, but it does look like it is kind of curling up. The MACD is crossing over on that. It could be close. I mean, that's close enough to a double bottom where it could now kind of go there. It looks like it's been consolidating. It may do another wave before it goes back up. And they may even make a big like cup and handle and then go back up. But I mean, just take a look. So RSI. I mean, it's basically just been a waterfall down. I mean, it will probably go back up. I don't know the financials, though. Let me see. So the market cap is 35 billion, though. 36 billion. Revenue of 55 million, though. Is this the one that Amazon's involved with? What's up, Habibi? Alright, good night. Over mining. Have fun. Hold on. Let's see. Let me just do this. Hold on. What's an ape? I mean, that's what the GME crowd called themselves for a little bit. I don't think they're doing that anymore, or at least it's not like it seems to be an outdated term. Maybe some people are still using it. I don't know. Let's see. I love your DDs. FYI, you don't need to get a screenshot live. If you watch the replay, it shows the chat. Wait, what? You don't need to get a screenshot live. If you watch the replay, it shows the chat. Okay, gotcha. You're saying, but I wasn't sure if it does that because the mods sometimes remove the person, so I wasn't sure if it like goes back like that. But I just wanted to get back. All right, so Rivian. I mean, like, I guess the question is, I mean, it looks like it's coming back up. If you look at like the Scotch, like it looks like it's coming back up for like. It looks like it consolidated here and then took another leg down. Might make a double bottom and then kind of move back into this area. So, I mean, like, I need to probably do some more reading. Let's see if there's any like dilution, a major dilution off the bat. Anything obvious. Though, if I'm really doing it, I have to commit. So it's RIVN, right? So institutions own most of it. Institutions own 62% basically. Is there any news on it? I mean, it looks like there's been a whole lot of... Hold on. So somebody from the Shaw law firm is encouraging investors with over $100,000 worth of losses to contact the firm. Rivian produced 2,500 vehicles in Q1 2022. That is not a lot of vehicles for somebody that has a market cap of $36 billion. That's not very good. All right, let's see. Is there any other news? Yeah, I mean, it's all these like press releases for like law firms. They set out their first quarter results. Have we gotten Q1 results yet? They hired a sustainability officer. Fraud lawsuits. Yeah, so I mean, I'd probably have to deep dive into it. I'm just seeing who like the biggest holders are. So T. Rowe Price owns them. Amazon owns 17% of them. BlackRock, FMR, Capital Research, Soros. So they've got some big names behind them. My guess is they're probably going to accumulate more, and then they'll send it on its way. Ford has a huge stake in them. I mean, just off the technicals, like they were basically in this channel. It looks like they're starting to break out of there. So I mean, like you could very well try to see if it backtests, and then it gets up to like, if it gets above the 50, then it might start to chop around, consolidate, and then start moving up. So I mean, that could be one that if you were interested in going long on them, they have enough institutional ownership that like the institutions want that to go back up. So, but since earnings, it has actually gone up and then back down. So like my guess would be you could probably go long on that and see. Not, I wouldn't go like huge, but like you could probably see if you could get near that bottom. So it wouldn't be too bad to buy in this range if you were going to go long something. Let's see. Drink a few drinks. What's up, Gina? Good vibes. And we'll do a face reveal. I don't know why everyone wants to see my face. It's part of the allure, right? You just hear the voice. Gator is the new ape. Yeah. Maybe short sale utilization is not. All right, let me check. All right, you guys want to look at other tickers? That's fine. I know we basically did this just to find out if there was bots, and there are. So we did what we set out to do. But if people want to look at some other tickers, I'm fine doing that right now because my wife's sleeping and nothing else is going on. Let's see. They don't really have any outstanding dilution, so that's good. Hold on a second. Or no, maybe I'm in the wrong thing. Hold on. Wait, sign in. What was it? Microvision, right? That's what you guys want to know? Okay. We got a little dilution. So it looks like you've gotten... So right now, Microvision is going through an ATM. They're getting hammered down because they're going through an active at-the-money offering. So... just throwing it out there. They've got right now, it looks like $110 million in cash. So they don't really need, they're raising money right now, which is why the stock's not going anywhere. So if you're buying MVIS, you're actively being diluted, which is why the stock price is not going up when you think it should be. So just want to let you guys know. It looks like they've already done about half of the ATM capability. So when they get enough cash where they're happy, they'll probably shut it down and the price can go back up. But just letting you guys know, there was a Egger file, looks like right here, for $140 million worth of stock. If you look here, let's see. Keywords are they using here? At the market, manner of the offering. Present time, planned distribution. Yeah, so they're basically going through right now, it looks like an active ATM. So if you wanted to know why MVIS is not going up, it's because that. Um, let's see. What are we looking at right now? Just showing. That was MVIS. Somebody wanted to know what Microvision, why they were getting hammered down. He holds, back holding thousands of shares. The reason why it's in a downtrend is just because they're diluting. So, what you should probably do is find out when it's going to be finished diluting, and then that's when you should have been buying, or right before they finish diluting. If you're long on the company, if you're just looking to get out, then you have to probably just wait until they decide to go back up. This ticker right here was Rivian. I was just saying that it's breaking out right now. It looked like it was in a falling channel, and then it's starting to break out of that channel. So people want to go long on that. It's owned by a bunch of really big institutions, which is usually a good sign that they'll protect their own investments. Someone wants me to look at CYR. All right, let's see what this is. So I'm not familiar with any of these tickers, so looks like they've had some history of kind of chopping around. Let's see. I'm going to look at the monthly because it looks like it's got some. Okay, so it's been. What is going on here? ADL just fell off a cliff. What happened here? They had a huge sell-off. Let me do this. Let me go to the daily. So, was there news on this CRYN or whatever? Cryan? Let me catch up. Hold on. And the bots are subscribed to the page, so every time you're on it, it will set them off. Gotcha. So they're subscribing to my YouTube channel. Well, make sure you like bots. Like and subscribe. Just Investor. Tell me about this stock. What do you know about it? Because, I mean, obviously that's an interesting chart. I mean, it looks like the volume just picked up recently too. Like you had nothing pretty much for like, I don't know if it's years. Yeah, like years. It was just kind of chopping around. It had some really big volume in the beginning, and then like it's been nothing really until the recently. I mean, like it was up here at what was this? Like 100 and something, and then it just fell off a cliff and hit $4 a share, then bounced right back up, and then it's just been chopping around, and then just slowly falling off a cliff here. Just Investor, did you write about that? Okay, maybe he's no longer with us, so I know he's behind. Let's see. Are the bots subscribed? Yeah, I don't know much about this play, so I'm not quite sure. Oh, here we go. It hit a couple spikes earlier, then crashed and been looking to buy back. Is there any reason why? Okay, so why do you want to buy back? Like, what does this company do? I didn't even look what they did. Yes, let me just make sure that there's no like active dilution and anything that's happening. CYRN. Kryren. So they do actually have some dilution going on there. Just Investor, just to let you know. They looks like they have some warrants. They don't have a ton of float, which is why they probably chop a lot. And institutions own about 24% of them. Short interest on them is about 5%. Market cap is only 18 million, so they're small, tiny micro cap. But they do have 3 million warrants, and 3 million warrants on a float that's like 5 million is pretty significant. It's almost like doubling it, which is why they're probably right now in this downtrend, because they're probably using. Let me see what the warrants are at though. These pipe warrants are at $3 and let's see, they're 3 million shares at $3.71. So we're below that. So they may want to push the price back up to get some of that money. But like their September 21 pipe warrants were for $12. So like that's back in this range right here. So there is dilution on that one, just letting you know. And there are also notes convertible. Not a ton of them, but like the conversion price though is 15, so you don't have to worry about anything right there. But just want to let you know. Okay, what was the other one people wanted to look? Someone wanted to look at. He knows not what he speaks of MVIS. It's okay. SST. So SST, it's software for Just Investor. So I know everyone's like up in arms because they want to know what's going on with SST. So SST is, how do I best describe this without like making all them mad? The only reason why I didn't get into this one, I played it for a day and I made good money. I actually played it on this spike and I sold it right around 30. So I got in down here and then I sold a day later for like 300% profit, and then I haven't touched it since then. And the reason why I'm not doing that is, even though the numbers are outstanding and they are like super, super good, Weeble charting is bad. I will say that. I mainly use it for like daily, just watching ticker stuff, but it's not great. You're right. Anyway, so here's my issue with this is at any point, so they started the filing. I know it takes longer. There's a backlog for the SEC, but technically, even though they're having tons of FTDs, even though they're having like being on the reg show, all these things, at any point that S1, as soon as that S1 hits, it's just the bottom's gonna fall out. And when I looked at Aterian versus this one, I said, at least with Aterian, I know where I'm at, which is 6 months from now is a lot. It seems like whenever there's active whenever they have like some dilution coming right after, they will let these guys hold it. And I don't know why that is. Aterian did the same thing in the year before when they had the 2 pump ups. On the second pump, they didn't have the shares. They were on they were on the reg show. It was all these things, and they still managed to get the warrants and reset all these FTDs. And then retail bailed out because they weren't sure how this was all happening. But yeah, like this one right here, the FTDs were spiking around this area. Like on this first run up, they basically hit these FTDs later. So this was like partly FTDs being covered, but they let these guys go, and they didn't ever have to close. Like they didn't force them to close their positions at 13 days. And it seems like if they just say, hey, listen, there's dilution around the corner, just let us keep going a little bit longer until it hits. Apparently that must be okay, at least between the honor amongst thieves kind of thing. All right, so let's see. But yeah, like SST to me was just too dangerous to like hold a long position for. Because you think about this, I decided I'm gonna go and buy some ATER down here. It's only $1 away, so like 142 is like less than $1 risk. So if I'm buying down in this area, I've got like $1 risk for the downside. But SST, for example, is trading in the 20s, and at any point, as soon as those S1 hits, they're going to reset all those FTDs. They've got plenty of shares to do it with for the pipe warrants, and that's why I'd never played SST long. even though its numbers are amazing and it probably looks like it will, it would make people the richest they'd ever be. If those S1 hits, then the play's over. Whereas Aterian, I knew if I'm buying down here in like March, I have until all the way out to here to see Aterian squeeze. In fact, it's right here, right on the stop. That's September 6, 2022. So I have this many days to make sure that this goes all the way up, right? That's a good amount of time, Here we go, right there. That's how long I have. For the S1, even though it's a better like percentage wise, like the short interest was way higher, like it was just too risky for me to take that, and that's because I don't trade stuff like that, because if the bottom can drop out on me, I don't want to do it. NVIDIA, Bosch, big things will ramp Microvision. Okay. It's not in this wheelhouse. Yeah, I'm not talking bad about it. I'm just saying, like, if you guys wanted to know, like, Microvision's thing was, it did have, right? It doesn't have. Let me go back and just make sure I. Yeah, I've been drinking too, so take it with a grain of salt. But it's MVIS, right? MVIS or Microvision. They do, but they do have an active ATM going right now. Like, they've used half of it. So once the dilution's finished, they'll go back up once they raise their cash. So I'm not saying anything, bad about the company. It's just it's diluting right now. That's what's happening. So, it'll be a huge LiDAR supplier in 2 years. Yeah, I'm not saying anything wrong about the company. I'm just saying, like, right now they're raising cash, and that's why the stock's not moving. Like, if we pull up the chart again, like, that's what it'll show you. That's not FUD. That's not like the play's over. It's just, it is what it is. Like, if it's actively diluting, then that's why the price doesn't go up. It's just, people buy in and go in waves. So just letting people know. Yeah, Prague. Like, Prague's another one where, they were doing an active ATM, and people bought into it thinking that it was like the next thing. And, while it may have a very good product, and, down the line, like, they're a stock that, what are they at now? $1? And what's Prague's dilution again? I think it's like Prague. Let's see. Yeah, Prague right now has warrants of 26 million. Like, I'm rounding up, but 26 million. It's got an ATM of 76 million and convertible notes at like 35 million roughly. So, like, you've got a lot of dilution on this stock, and that's why I'm pretty sure what happened, and this is just my theory, but, like, I'm pretty sure what happened was this. So retail gets interested around this area. This is like ATER, Prague, a bunch of like things were running up around the same time. And everybody was spamming the Prague stuff, and they're like, oh, Froggy, whatever it was. But what was happening was they had good like short numbers because they pushed it down here, I think on purpose, to be honest with you. And then they issued the ATM into it, and that's what they're basically doing, was they allowed it to run up a little bit, get people excited. Retail FOMOs in, and then they just start diluting because they have so much dilution. They're trying to raise cash. That's what usually you do. If you want to make... This is what people, I don't think, realize is, like, these companies are trying to generate cash. So how do you generate cash? You get retail to FOMO in on something, and then you just sell into them because you get more for your bang for your buck. Like, if you waited and were really quiet about things, and you wouldn't raise as much cash when you do these things. So that's why you'll notice, like, they'll get hype on things, and then, like, you're like, why is this not going up? It's because they're diluting. Like, bots are spreading SST propaganda. What does that mean? Like, they want you to buy SST? bots are telling me to buy SST, then I'd be getting out right now if I was SST. Not a bot here. I own ATER and SST along with, that's the mining company, right? The AMC mining company, High Mac or whatever. Prague. He's apparently got 28,000 shares. Roommate's got 40,000 shares. Yeah, we've got a couple people that's got like 200K shares, and we got some whales that are holding the Aterian. So the Microvision's my largest long-term bag. Yeah, I mean it happens to the best of us. I mean, what you can try to do in the future is like you average down, do what you have to do, but All right, let me read some of these. How do I find out if a company is diluting? So I've got a couple different things. I've got a tool that I use. And actually, if anyone in the Discord is interested, we do have a discount code for Dilution Tracker, which makes it really simple. I also typically keep filings on like Egger up, so I can just quickly like Google into them and just like confirm them. Yeah. So like, if you know the DD, you're fine going long on them. If they're just once they finish, diluting, you'll be fine, and you'll just go ahead and. Okay, what's this? PRPO. Somebody wants me to look at PRPO. Let me see. PRPO, which is Prepacito or something like that. Healthcare. Let's see what the industry. So it's a small float, about 1% short. Institutions own about 11%. They've got some. Let's see what's going on here. Got about 5.3 million shares dilution. About a year and a half worth of cash at their cash burn right now. It looks like they do have a registered ATM though. Is that what that is? Yeah, so that's what the ATM is. They've got another like 6 million to raise on the ATM, and after that, they've already used up their equity lines, and so, what's a chart on that look like? Let's pull it up real quick. PRPO. Yeah, so here's your active dilution. I don't know when they started it. It was registered back in April. So it's new, I guess. April 2nd. No, sorry. It was April 2021. So if you go back to April 2021, where's that? So look, this is what I'm talking about, right? So what do you do if you're trying to raise money, right? Here's April 2021. They get this ATM, right, registered. This date. April 2nd is the agreement date. So they get this thing approved for an ATM. So they're getting, chopping along here, and then boom, they must have done something, gotten some, gone on Reddit and pumped it, or somebody, they know, like, started buying, and, other people started FOMOing in, and then they got the share price up, and they start issuing in, these shares. And so they are able to quickly drop it, and then they're trying to raise money as much as they can. They'll have like secondary bump ups, like here's one right here. But for the most part, they've just been diluting, like little bits here and there. The stock goes up a little bit, let it run a little bit, and then you just sell your shares into it. So that's it's having some dilution, and I'm sure once the dilution's done, they'll bring it back up and they'll have money. It looks like they have raised from that dilution. They've raised around $10 million. So, and that's enough because they're not burning that much cash, so it's not that bad. So, as a long term, that could be fine. Let's see. How do FDDs for Aterian work from last week? When do they have to buy those shares by? Okay. So, I guess the best way to explain this is we won't see the FTD data until like halfway through the month. Right? like what's the date right now? It is 15th. We won't see until May what all the April stuff does. Like the end of April, we'll see the beginning of April, basically. So it's like always a couple weeks behind. Good points on SST. I'll watch it closely. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not talking people out of it. Like it may squeeze to on Monday. Who knows? But like, just be very very careful on that stock because like at any moment the floor can drop out. Because if they say for example they rushed the S1s over the weekend and they drop them on Monday, there's gonna be thousands and thousands of retail investors going to be jumping out as quickly as possible, and some of them will get caught. But with the FTEs, excuse me, for Aterian, like those won't show up until later. So I'm expecting those ones because I think the new one's already out, if I remember correctly. Let me see if I can pull it up. Fintel. Okay, let's take a look. Scotch. Oops. All right, let's see. FTDs, right? That's what we're doing. Okay, so FTDs right here. So remember, these are cumulative. So you have to like remember, like they'll be high one day and then the next day they'll be low. Like they don't like it's not like you add them up. They're cumulative. So like when you see large numbers, it means there's been a massive amount of FTDs at some point within that. So like, sorry. But yeah, right now the numbers are not like astronomical, but like I'm expecting them to be in the next report. So. And they don't technically have to buy those shares. They can eat the fine for them for a while. But they do end up on the reg show eventually. When they end up on the reg show threshold, it puts more pressure on them. Excuse me. Let's see. No green eyes. If I was buying in the money options, how far would I go? Considering 2 to 3 weeks. So not financial advice. I mean, like personally for me, I think buying. Oh, let me pull up Aterian. There we go. All right. So something. People pointed out, if you look every single time, so this is on the 1 minute, but if I go to the hourly, right, it seems like every time we've been hitting this let me take out this one actually. I don't want to confuse anyone. I think it's easier to see without the. Alright. So this is a Bollinger Band, the yellow, but the one I'm talking about is this one right here. So I would imagine this would kind of just go like here-ish, and this is where either you're gonna have a bounce and we're gonna rip, or it's gonna be an attacking point. So. What has happened in the past is every time you see this green line that's been going up here, that's your 60. Sorry, this one right here. If you look, every time we hit it, bounce, 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 bounce. Came down, and we're gonna probably hit it again around here-ish. That would be my guess, at least. But now that we're talking about options, if I was going to be thinking that we're going to be around here-ish, like for example, on Monday, I might buy a 350 call, maybe a forward if I was doing deep in the money, or I would do like selling a put. So selling put is bullish. You would basically buy behind it and say, okay, I'm willing to pay 450. Like, you know, might get a decent premium out of a 450 when you're slumping down into this maybe $5 range. So, or you could be really bold and do 5. But I mean, like, once again, not financial advice, and you know, you would get a big premium, but you could be assigned. So you would have to have the money to do that. All right, let's see. ATER 2022 play of the year, and it's just starting. Yeah, I mean, like, the thing I'm going to be interested in is seeing if this volume sustains. Like, we're getting these large buy orders, you know, here. We're obviously getting some sell orders, but for the most part, we're buying and we're going up in an uptrend. So, do I think hedges will take a GME back under 78? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if that happens again once they do the stock split. Like, I don't know for a fact, but I do know that, like... Sorry, I'm just getting tired. Alright. I'll have to wrap it up because I'm going to fall asleep at this computer if I keep doing this. I'll probably be rambling on, and I've had a couple of drinks, so... Is Mullen a good play right now? So, if you go to our Discord, Matthew White, I can tell you that I don't want to I don't want to put anybody's stock down because I know people. So the Mullen product looks really nice, is what I can say. I looked at their cars; they look really, really nice. I think they have an interesting product. The problem I have with them is that there are some issues that we have found. Like, if you go to our Discord and you read through our Mullen section on the individual stocks, we started researching into it, and we started finding, like, things that we didn't like, which, once again, we're being critical, but, like, the short data is really high, and that's how we noticed it, but we did find, for example, their $60 million van sale. We started looking into the company that committed to buying that stuff, and they're not in good standing with the state of Colorado. They're like an online dispensary, so we're not quite sure why an online dispensary would need. I guess maybe they're doing it locally, but like something didn't add up there. And then like the CEO's kind of lied and like hidden things, and then at one point he was like pumping his own stock, and then the tweet got deleted later, like stuff that CEOs should not be doing because that's how you get in trouble with the IRS, or not the IRS, but the SEC. Just like it doesn't seem like there's. It seems like they hired really good engineers to create something really decent, and really management's like a bunch of like clowns. Like that just how I looked at it, because like. There's no way a CEO should be tweeting out and trying to. He was literally trying to pump like the short squeeze aspect of his stock, and I'm like, you can't, like, you're the CEO, like you can't. You're supposed to pretend like that doesn't exist. Like you can acknowledge it in the like filings that like we may be going underneath the short squeeze, and many companies do that. GameStop did it, AMC did it. We also saw it on Aterian. I think at one point put it out, something that they because of high volatility. Let's see. Somebody keeps tagging me in things. Okay. But yeah, so Mullen right now, and let me just go over something that I think is important, which is just make sure you understand the dilution picture, because a lot of people don't understand that and why. All right. So right now, there are new 8Ks that just came out at the end of March, which is an additional 5 million in additional C convertibles, 17 million warrants, which was at the end of March for 44 million. Like, they're just so cash hungry right now to make their like factories and all their stuff that they have so much dilution. Like their float, honestly, when we kind of noticed this stuff, like their float went from 23 million to overnight 240 million. Like that's a lot of dilution. Like your shares are worth a lot less. And like if I was to type in the Mullen like and see their market cap versus what they've actually made so far, like there's no reason why we should have $517 million market cap on a stock that has not made a single thing and produced anything profitable. Like that's kind of silly. But it's, what the market's valuing them at. So I'm just letting you know, like, there are some hiccups, and I think there are things long that I'm like concerned about with Mullen. I played it for a short, pop, and then I got out. But to people that are investing in it and doing their homework, then all the kudos to you. Maybe you can convince me later to buy it, but at this point right now, I'm not quite sure. They did dilute a lot, and at this point, they haven't produced anything. So until they start producing things, that's when I'd be curious to kind of relook at it. GameStop, after the stock split is 4-1, as a dividend, it might be under 78. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Let's see. Screw options, buy shares. I mean, it's all personal preference. You can't go wrong with shares. I will tell you this: shares are more underrated than people realize because everyone's like, "Oh, options, sexy," but options can make you lose money and lose money very quickly. So I'm just saying, like, shares, even though they won't hit the lit exchange, they're fine too. So, can you explain shares on loan versus SI? So, just so you know, Ortex wise, do I have a picture of it just so I can show you guys? Get caught up then. All right, let me see. Okay, here's an Ortex. This is an outdated one, so I don't want to hear people go, "Oh, well, his numbers are wrong." Like, yeah, I know. This is like at 42% right now, and there's like 10 million shares or something like that. I'm just showing you. Right here, you've got your shares on loan, and now it's like 17 million shares on loan. And if you look down here, for example, you've got like now it's like 10% of, or not 10, 10 million shares. So 10 million of the like 17 now are out on loan. So like most of them are being loaned out. But sometimes what they do is they take these loans out just to make waterfalls. So they go long on the stock and then hold it, and then they'll shuffle them off really quickly. So I just want to let you know that. If I start rambling, not making sense because I'm getting tired and I probably shouldn't. But yeah, so the shares on loan does not equal shares shorted. You can choose if you don't want to do it. He's saying that Goat says he's Mr. MVIS. I don't know how you guys pronounce it, but MVIS is going to hit triple digits in a couple of years. I mean, we'll see. Animation side is hard asking. Like, yeah, automation in like these factories, these are all like very challenging things. And is there a trick to pulling out of a stock when the floor is falling? I think it depends on what your conviction is. Like sometimes buying the bottom is better than selling and try to retiming it, or like it just really depends on personal preference. But for the most part, not a horrible. Oh, yeah, I'm rambling. Let's see. I don't know why you should listen to me. I'm now super tired and I need to go to bed. Elon's cams can do everything. Elon is betting on the AI. Yeah, and it's not perfect. I know. Like I own Tesla, and they're a lot more ahead than people realize, which is why Tesla was a nice little. I bought it. I liked it, and I just kept buying it. And I was buying it in the 60s, so feels good to be right. But yeah, we're short on that, and yeah, go to bed. Yeah, I'm gonna Go to bed. I'm gonna talk to DZ and try to figure out when we're gonna do that. But we did get bots, and I thought that was pretty impressive. That we got bots on this Friday night, and they popped up, and they even told us that we should keep buying the stock. Hopefully, we got those screenshots all done in the chat, and everything's good there. Okay, let's see. Here, look. Someone made a chart for you guys. I just want to show it to you. Look at that. I am willing to talk. I may get caught, but I don't care. I've worked at this call center to spread AMC and Jimmy FUD in the past before their run-ups. I don't know what I know what I'm doing is wrong. Don't sell. They are panicked. I can't say where I work or who I work for, but sorry, I have a family to feed. Laura, we would have bought you call options on this, and we would have let you do it. So if you come back to the next one and talk to us, we'll hook you up. I'll throw like some cheap calls your way, and hopefully it goes well. So I don't know if you can see this, but Mildred came in. I think realistically, 7 is fair for the Aterian. Why would we hold and try to hurt the shorts? They are people too. Do you guys agree with me? Hedgies are getting their feelings hurt. Bots are telling us that 7 is good. Is 7 a good thing? Yes, 7 is a good thing, encouraging us to sell. Bot responding to Anton May. $50 a share? I will be selling all mine at 50. Anton responds back. Accuses Anton of being a bot and asking Anton to ban Anton for saying 50. And then we had the broken bot. Double agent or the bot enticed by Anton's sexy voice and deflecting. Or defecting, sorry. That's pretty good. Pretty good, guys. All right. So, I'm going to end the stream. Let's see. Go look at Microvision's last YouTube video. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look. I mean, like, I'd like to... I'll buy when they're finished their Dilution, and I'll enter at the bottom and go from there. Maybe buy some leaps on it while it's cheap. But, yeah, like Mullen, yeah, just there's some warts on that one, and... Let's see, Microvision's just been diluting, which is why we're having these waves down. Like, it's, you know... I mean, that's a perfect, like, they're basically in a perfect symmetrical pattern that was like, okay, we need to take shares, sell shares, sell shares. Okay, we got to let it back up a little bit. Sell shares, sell shares, sell shares. They're just doing this in waves and bringing down the stock price. Like, you should see the float change, too, if you're doing it active. So, just want to throw that out there. No, I'm letting you know why the price is doing that. Like, you can literally see these pockets. Like, this is when they sell. 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 You have the bars there too. Like, you can see when they choose to dilute. So, I would probably be looking at around this area. Would be my guess. Like around is that 3? So. Play it here. No, I can't. I don't think I can play other YouTube videos on here. Someone told me that's like a no. Like you have copyright stuff or something like that. What's going on, Goat? What are you doing over there? You're like freaking out on me. What's going on? I thought we were talking about. Is this not the right ticker that you were talking about? You should see the cells they divulged. Like, who divulged? Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, you need to talk. Yeah, you hit me up. I'll talk to you about the stock and we can go from there. But we'll check out the last YouTube video for Microvision. Is there a trick to pulling out of stock when the floor is falling? I mean, honestly, either average down or you can sell and try to find the bottom. But I mean, most of the time at that point, just average down. I mean, look what Aterian did. Like, if we go to Aterian, we were in like a really bad like downtrend that we just kept going through and going through. Here we go. Look at the daily. Look at that. Like, we ran up here and then it was just sell, 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 sell. Like, I mean, they were just pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down. Finally, we hit this. I thought we were going to get that spring test there. I was excited. I was like, we're in an uptrend. Things are going good. And then they broke it down again. Because this, I think, was when Russia went in, right? It was like Russia happened like right in here, and then they just were like, okay, world event, and they pushed it down to 210, and then at that point, I think that was our spring, and that's when we started going back up. So, but I'm wrong on MVIS. I mean, didn't we look it up? I looked it up. It's going through an, yeah, right here. It says that it's got 72.2 million from this dilution. It's a proposed price, offering price right here. Yeah. So they're raising that much, and they're allowed to sell off the stock to raise that much. When they signed it, it was $20 a share, right? Not like crazy. Like, this is where they pulled that information from. And then have I watched EC calls? I thought we were talking about dilution. You said I was wrong about dilution, right? Yeah, right here, dilution. If you invest in our common stock, your interest will be diluted by, like, it's being diluted, like I said. It's fine. Like, if you're long on the stock, just buy the dips and, you know, wait till it, like, at least gets more of the way through. But I'm just saying, like, this stock is being actively diluted. I'm not wrong. I pulled the filing. The dilution was last year. Yeah, they still have more on the shelf. Like, I'm looking right here. You have an active thing. They're still raising money from the dilution. June 2021, and they didn't finish the dilution on it. Like, I just pulled the egger for you. This filing right here, if you want to go look at it yourself. Here, I'll put it in the chat for you, and you can read through it. Like, but they still have more dilution. There you go. Like, they had 140 million. They didn't raise the entire 140 million. So, thoughts on O-Cup? I don't know that one. Let me see. O-Cup. That has fallen. Let's see. Okay, let me just take a look. Excuse me. Get some more scotch in me. Okay. So what was this run up on? Was it like short interest? What was it? Like what? I don't. Is this like a biotech or a pharmacy, like healthcare? Like, I'm just trying to. It's choppy, obviously. Let's look at the monthly. I mean, obviously you've got some huge spikes though. Like what was that day? Or that month? Sorry, we're on the monthly. Like, Right, finish the phase 3 trials. Okay. Yeah, so I'm I am not a big biotech person, and the only reason for that is because honestly, like they're so like it's hit or miss. Like you might as well just roll a dice. You just throw darts at a board and see which one's hit because like unless you really know the business and you understand like the science behind it, like a lot of like business people don't understand the science behind it. So like I've got a friend that works in biotech, and I do usually consult him before I buy anything. So if you're interested, Shadi, is it Shandi? Shandi, I could see if my buddy Chris would come in and talk, and or at least give me his opinion. I can send him this ticker if you want. Just jump in the Discord and send me a DM, and I'll see if I can get him to talk to me about it because it'd be interesting. I know you spoke about dilution for SST, but I keep seeing that 700K free float over 1 million FTDs happened at the end of March. Would they get margin called immediately? No. I mean, like, the SEC doesn't actually do anything. Like, I know this is hard to hear for people, but, like, the SEC has a rule, is supposed to be enforcing these rules, but these rules never actually get, like, enforced. That's the unfortunate part. Like, look at this. This is not a normal chart. This doesn't look anything like a normal chart. Like, that's a weekly. Here's a daily. Like, this doesn't look normal. And it's not behaving normally. And it's because it's being squeezed out. But at the same time, nothing's really actively making them. Like if the shorts can afford to hold those positions and those, like the FTDs, yeah, they're supposed to hit reg show. And once they're on the reg show, they're supposed to go at 13 days. But, like, I've never actually seen it enforced, to be honest with you. Like, I've watched stocks go 30, 40, 50 days and never actually have anything happen for it. So I'm hoping my, like, bringing it up gets people to actually, like, contact the SEC and be like, yeah, like, what's going on with this? Like, Overstock.com was 666 days, if you guys think about it. Like, they were on the reg show for 666 days straight, continuously. That's insane. So, yeah. With SST, it's like, whew. Night, Kenny. Good talking to you. I didn't see you, but I guess you were listening. But, yeah. You may win this round, but I think you may think you slapped me down, but remember, it will be 100 plus in a year. Yeah, and I would like to buy it before it goes to 100, but I'm just saying, at this point right now, until they, show me that their chart right now looks like it's not time to buy yet. And I know that probably is not what you want to hear, but, like, let's see. I mean, they had the bounce there, and it looks like they still are having accumulation. So it's like, but you waterfalled from all the way up here, down here, and now you're reaching these lows. My guess is they're still going to have a little bit. It looks like they're heading down. If it dips into this oversold again, down in these like $2 range, I probably would scoop up leaps on them, and then I could even play like maybe like an 8 to like year long if they have options. Like, that's what I would probably do. And I would go long on them. So tracking DZ's interest, I picked up CEI. Yeah, I was going to say that's another one, but I don't know if it's long term for me personally. I just, but I'm curious about them also. I'm going to probably pick up some on Monday just to see what happens. I want to double check the charts and kind of go over things before I do that. But, yeah, that's one I'm looking at. I'm eyeing buying that one. Let me make sure there's nothing else going on. Let's see. How important is it keeping the ticker's name in the social media during a squeeze play? It's super important. Somebody just wrote me that. I think what you guys have to realize, and it's everyone's annoyed right now. They're seeing the name everywhere on like Short Squeeze and all these other places. But like honestly, if you want to post about it, post about it, because the more it's mentioned, the more it's going to stay at the top of the list. And so if it's always on the top of the list, that's something that those social media or not, but they're tracked through social media, these tickers, and they want to make sure that when those get hot, they jump on them. So like some of these hedge funds literally have like a special department to like monitor that, like retail sentiment, to see which side they want to go on it. So make sure there's no other things in the Discord going on that people wanted to talk about. Can I explain how car squeezed? All right, let's see. Car. Oh, budget. Avis budget. Right here. My guess would be, I don't know. I mean, this is obviously when it started. They were basically like bouncing around, and then just started gaining some steam. This was their squeeze right here. Probably a culmination of, excuse me, this buying pressure here led to a bunch of like FTDs, and then eventually they probably loaded the options chain, would be my guess, based off like it's kind of like a slow build. So that's what I would double check, is like, but yeah, like the options chain is probably filled up, and that's what probably will happen on Aterian. Is we're gonna have one of these really big days where we just have like an insane volume, and we have insane candles, and it'll be fun. Just reading through. Things are heating up. Yeah, I mean, the fact that bots are coming out to our thing, that's exciting. That means we're doing something right. We're making people mad, so it is what we're... It looks like we're going to be forming bull flags. Alright, I gotta go. It's coming up on midnight. Alright, and it's too late for me. So, I will go ahead and bid you all adieu, and I guess we'll stream some other time over the weekend, maybe catch up with DZ. But yeah, night guys. If you need anything, just let me know on the Discord. I will go ahead and link the normal things that we do at the end of the evening if you've stayed this long. Here we go. ATER to the moon, all that stuff. Came on with you guys. Let's see. Here we go. I'll share this. I do have a Patreon if you guys want to, get me to stream during the day when things are live. I can't do it right now because I have a full-time job, but if I do someday replace that income, I will come on here and just stream live with you guys all day long, and we look up tickers and kind of compare them together, and I can kind of give you guys my thoughts on them. None of it will be financial advice, obviously, but it is what it is. And then the other part was we wanted to link the Discord because the Discord's cool and people want to come. Let's see. Here's the Discord. And hopefully everyone's already in the Discord, but if you're not, oops, I hit copy, and there we go. Okay, so if you're not a member, join our Discord. It's fun. There's a lot of people in there now. It's filling up because I think the last time I checked, we had like over 2273. So 2,273 people that are in there now. So when I started this, it had like 15 people. So that's good. And someone asked, can you say there's a correlation between price action and social media presence? So would you say there's a correlation between price action and yeah? I mean, like obviously when retail gets interested in the stock, I mean they're gonna FOMO in because that's what retail does. Like I bet you halfway up this bar, retail started FOMOing. They're like, oh my god, what's happening here? And they just said, whoop, let's jump in. And so they start buying up in 300s, 400s, and then straight back down. And retail loses their money, their premiums, and all that stuff. And then that's how that's kind of how the stock market works for a lot of retail investors. Is you think you're doing something good, you're like, things are going great, I'm gonna buy in. It hasn't left yet, and then as it goes up, you're like, oh, maybe I need to add more, so you add some more, and then it comes crashing back to earth the same day. So, all right, guys, you guys have a great evening, and I will see you guys maybe tomorrow or the next day. No, that's Easter the next day, so yeah, I'll probably do it tomorrow and see if we can get DZ on. I just have to speak with them and see what we can plan out, and I'll learn OBS so I can at least do something with it. All right, guys. Good night. We got bots though.